Okay, here we go. Manolín, you comfortable? We're back. Manolín and I are going to teach you another way to check in with students and families today. That's easier or simpler than what you learned on day 2. Welcome to What Would Your Spanish Speaking Self Say? So on day 2, you learned there's cómo estás, cómo está, and cómo están, and when it's appropriate to use each of those. Now, if you feel comfortable with when to use each of those 3, then this video is just kind of additive. It's another thing in your tool belt. If that feels, you're like, I can never remember when it's with the S, without the S, with the N, you're not alone, and today's video is something that you can swap out for always trying to remember which form of estar to use in your check-in, how are you, that you can use instead. So instead of how are you, you can ask, is everything okay? And to do that, it's 2 words, and it's the same no matter who you're talking to, how many people they are, whether it's a student, caregiver, whatever. So 2 words. First word, todo. Todo. That's everything. And then the second word is bien. You already know that one most likely. Bien, which is, technically it's well. So you're asking everything well? Everything good? Everything okay? Todo bien? Todo bien? Todo bien? Now, for those of you who are like ready to up your pronunciation game, you might notice that when I say todo, it doesn't sound like todo, which is what we would expect because of how we say the d sound in English. D. When the D when the D sits between 2 vowels, right there in the middle, it sounds in Spanish much softer than a D sound, and in fact, it almost sounds like the TH, a voiced TH in the, todo. So if you just imagine that, the sound, the beauty of your Spanish is going to elevate immediately. Todo bien? Everything good? You got this. We will see you back in here tomorrow. Captivated by my grace? Follow along for more.